Have you been hoping that the pastor would finally address your burning theological question, only to be disappointed that it wasn't addressed during the sermon yet again? Well, now's your chance to ask the pastor that question. Questions like, can I trust the Bible? Why aren't my prayers being answered? Or, why do bad things happen to good people? Maybe you've been at the circus and wondered, why aren't dinosaurs mentioned in the Bible? Or perhaps you were working out and asked your partner, did those miracles really happen? Or maybe you're just wondering if Jesus likes football or baseball better. Maybe Junior wants to know, do dogs go to heaven? Whatever your question may be, nothing is too deep, nothing is too shallow for our pastors to answer. Email me, Pastor Chris, along with Pastor Jeff, your question, and it could be answered during one of our upcoming devotional videos beginning June 29th. Space is limited, don't wait. Submit your questions now.
Hello, my name's Jeff Raffauf, and I'm one of the pastors at West Lawn United Methodist Church, and coming to you from the sanctuary of our church this morning. Someone recently at a prayer gathering had mentioned that the sanctuary is her happy place, and I would want to agree with that. It brings me great joy as well, joy and peace and stability and centering. This is a place, truly a sanctuary for me. It has been my privilege, along with Pastor Chris Hardy, to bring you these daily connection videos. And as you have been, I hope you have been enjoying, as you have been submitting pictures, photographs of items around your home and other places in this series that we've been calling Stump the Pastor. So Stump the Pastor wasn't about us trying to figure out what you sent us, but rather, how could we interpret what you have shared with us in such a way that it might be used of a devotional nature? And today's submission comes from Wendy Reinert. Wendy, thank you for submitting this, and it's actually a picture of an award that her late husband David had won. Dave was an auto technician, and apparently he won the General Motors World Class Technician status or achievement or award, and so this picture is of that status, and I thought that was a great thing. I knew he was good at the things he set his mind to. I knew he was diligent in his work. I knew that he was accomplished with his hands and could do amazing things, but I didn't know he had won this award. And so, Wendy, thank you for sharing that with us. And it brings to mind, for me, a passage that Paul wrote to the Colossians. For Paul wrote these words in Colossians 3. It's the last, second to last verse of Colossians 3. So Colossians 3:24. Actually, Colossians 3:23. Whatever your task, put yourselves into it as done for the Lord and not for your masters, since you know that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You serve the Lord Jesus Christ. And so I think that's appropriate fodder for us today to give consideration as to what we do and how we do it. I'll never forget my first mission trip experience at another church, but we had traveled to work on a project to put a new roof on. We were in the Appalachian area, down further south and in a very poor region. And as we were doing it, we were struggling to get something just right. And I didn't know what was going on. This was all new to me. It's the first time I ever even helped someone put a roof on. But someone made the comment after a lot of frustrating moments and a long, hot day up on that roof. Someone said, well, good enough for government work. Well, first of all, to anybody in government work, I apologize for that statement. I didn't make it. And second, no, it's not. It's not good enough. Not for government work, not for church work, not for any work. When we do something, we should do it with excellence. In fact, when we were putting new carpeting in the church in Jonestown when I served there, I can still vividly remember the head of the trustees was laying out samples of carpet that we might use for the sanctuary. And he never said, well, this is the cheapest version, or this is the least expensive, or this will get us by. No, he said, this is the Lord's house, and God deserves the best. I would say that not only about the Lord's house, but I would say that about our work. The things you and I do, God deserves the very best from us. When Cheryl and I give, we don't give the leftovers after we pay all our bills. We give God our first fruits. When I work, I hope I work in such a way that God will be proud of the work I do, that whatever I do might accomplish its task and bring God glory. And so David Reinert, in heaven today, and Wendy, thank you for submitting this picture. I can only imagine that David took very seriously his task, whether it's a car mechanic or whatever it is that you do. We should all be working as if we are working not for our bosses, not for whoever signs our paychecks, but we work for the Lord. Whatever your task, put yourselves into it as done for the Lord and not your masters of this world, since you know that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You serve the Lord. Friends, that's what we're called to do today, to serve the Lord and none less. So may these words encourage you, may you find strength in them, and may God be with you till we meet again.
Hello, church family. We're going to say a little joke for you.
Okay.
What do you call mac and cheese that has a cold?
What do you call mac and cheese that has a cold?
Mac and sneeze.
Ah!